hope and I pray that Jennifer Aniston watches this show for inspiration for the next series of Morning Wars.
Yes.
Because we do TV that they should look at. Fart walks are trending online. Named after a woman, Mairlyn Smith. It went viral, detailing...
Going for a fart walk
Have a listen.
after dinner is something that's going to help you age wonderfully. And if you follow me, you know that my husband and I go out for fart walks most nights after dinner. So about 60 minutes after we've eaten, we put on our running shoes and off we go. Now, why do we do this? Well, we eat a lot of fiber, so we have gas. Everybody does. And, yeah, you fart when you walk. So that's why I named it that.
So what does the science say about sauntering away your flatulence, and could it actually be the magic bullet to help beat the bloat?
I love it when you say that, Kylie.
Flatulence?
Don't have to say it again.
Oh, OK.
For more, we welcome back Dr Gabby Staniforth. Hey, Doc. Now, should we be going on fart walks?
That is the question, isn't it?
Pretty much.
I mean, well, we all know that walking's good for us. It's good for our health. But when it comes to our digestion, this new fart walking has certainly been proven to aid in digestion.
Is it a new thing, or do we think cavemen and women were fart walking back in the day too?
I think the term is new.
Oh, I see.
But the concept has always been there.
So is there any truth to what she said? My husband and I eat dinner, and then about an hour we eat a lot of fibre. An hour later, this is what we do. Is there any sort of truth to that, or is she...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
So when we do gentle exercise after a big meal, it does promote that digestive process starting. It moves the food through the bowel, which helps relieve bloating and release the flatulence.
I feel sorry for her neighbours watching TikTok and then going, we're not going for a walk now because there's Mairlyn and her husband walking down the street.
Well, maybe they all do it together.
Maybe. Now, apparently there's a particular way. You can't just go walking and expect to fart walk. Apparently there's a certain way, a style, if you like.
Well, I actually want to say that you can walk any way that you like, and that's going to actually produce the benefits. But there has been some evidence...
I love you, Gabby. You're doing so well.
Yeah, stand up, Gabby, and show us.
About the proper technique, which gives you the optimal benefits of fart walking.
Release.
So, hands behind your back.
Just before we start, sorry, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
How long were you at university to become a doctor?
Look, I've been at university for 10 years.
OK, carry on.
Yeah.
It's all led to this, Gabby.
Yes, I know. National TV, talking about farting. So, hands behind your back, leaning forward. That increases the abdominal pressure, which pushes the food through the digestive tract, and tilt your neck forward, which stops you following air. It's kind of like a stern headmistress, kind of.
Stops you following air?
Swallowing.
Oh,
Swallowing.
Following Mairlyn, you'd be...
Very much following the air.
You wouldn't want to swallow her air.
No.
When food breaks down, what actually is happening in our bodies?
So when we eat, the food goes into our stomach first, and the digestive process starts with the digestive juices, which acts as a chemical breakdown. Foods that aren't broken down in that process move through the bowel, and they're subject to bacteria-induced fermentation, and it's the fermentation process that releases the gas.
I'm not going to lie. This is shaping up to be one of my favourite segments ever. I can't lie.
I could have told you that going in, that this would have really struck a chord with you.
What's funnier about it is that we're trying to take it seriously. That's the funny bit.
Well,
and you're doing a marvellous job, Gabby.
It is serious because there are people out there who really do suffer from digestive issues that makes it, them very uncomfortable. Lots of bloating, lots of gas, people with food intolerances, IBS and so forth.
Okay.
So in that way, it is very serious, and it's important that we are encouraging good health habits that help people feel better.
So what sort of food should we be avoiding if we don't want to get too gassy?
Yep, so if you do have food intolerances, it's important to avoid the foods that you're intolerant to, because that will naturally produce more gas. But for everybody else, there are typical foods that produce more gas than others, things like cabbage and Brussels sprouts. I don't know who likes them anyway. Certain fruits like apples, peaches, pears, dried fruits are big culprits, garlic, onions, leek. Unfortunately, hard candy produces more gas, as does soft drinks, and chewing gum can also produce gas, more from the swallowing air process.
And of course, walking just generally is good for you as well, right?
Absolutely.
So you can say that you've been doing it for this reason, but in fact, it's good for a whole bunch of reasons.
Yeah, we know that walking is great for our physical health, for our cardiovascular health, for our mental health. Interestingly, when you go further into Mairlyn Smith's story, her and her husband started the walking process more for the health benefits and then found that the farting was a byproduct. So, you know, when we walk, we move glucose into our muscles, which lowers insulin, and in that way, it stabilises our blood glucose level, which decreases our risk of type 2 diabetes.
And do you agree with Kylie's formula for this, where she walks her dogs and blames them? Is that okay?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Got to go, Doc. Thank you for this. Hopefully this goes on your show reel and we see you more often.
Thanks,
Sure.
Gabby.